Привет guys and welcome to Halls of Ivy. I hope you guys are having a beautiful day because today we're looking at the Dynamic Opus Playground DE Train. Quick disclaimer before we begin. I'm keeping this video series relatively basic, such as to appeal to the average player. Check out the playlist in the description below to check out my other maps as well. One more thing, you're gonna need a jump throw bind for some of these nades, so if you don't already have that set up, I'm going to leave a tutorial in the description below. Check it out if needed. Alright, starting off with the CT side, there are not many lineups you're gonna need for CT side, so I'm just gonna show you some basic nades that you could use. One thing right off the bat, if you want to molly A main, you can molly it like this. If you want to prevent a fast A rush, you can bank it off this wall, so aim quite high, and that's gonna bounce off blue and molly back blue. That's gonna prevent any A rushes, or at least deal some damage if they are rushing. One thing you can couple that with is a nade. Get onto the bomb train, aim at the second pillar here, and run through. That's gonna hit the AWPer if he's peeking like this, or if they're rushing out aiming, that's gonna, the second or third guy in is gonna eat that. So it's pretty good if you wanna get some damage. And I'm gonna show you a couple of ways you can molly Olof, because getting fast Olof as a T side is really strong. So here's a few ways you can molly. One thing is get on this ledge on bomb train. Aim at this little corner here, just aim right above it, about here. Just gonna molly Olof. And another way is you can have your IV guy or your back green guy do this. It's, you know, once they spawn coming out here, keep your crosshair at the top of this line and run through. That is gonna molly Olof as well. One last thing I'm going to show you as CT side is a flash that you can use to peek upper B, especially if you have an AWP upper B. It's pretty useful if you can throw this flash. Get into this shadow here, right below this line. You're going to see a white spot here. Line yourself up at the white spot. Aim at this second railing and go up towards this beam and left click. This flash is really good because it's going to flash this guy holding, you know, inner push or upper B push. More importantly, it's going to flash this guy, this AWP holding upper B push. So it's going to flash him, and your AWPer can time that and peek with the flash. So you can get away with an early pick, which is really useful on train. Alright, that's it for CT side. We're gonna move on to T side, and we're starting with the outer side, A side. For A side, I'm gonna show you 4 basic smokes, that is E-box, sandwich, connector, and back 6. Starting off with connector, this one's pretty basic, everyone knows this. Get up top, get in between these boxes, top right of the building, break. This smokes up connector. And for sandwich, very easy smoke. Get to the corner of this building, aim at the top, you know, this edge right here, top left, and release. That's gonna smoke up your sandwich. For E-box, get into this corner. There are multiple ways to smoke E-box. This one is pretty easy. Get into this corner, top right of the building, aim towards the right a bit, and left click. Just gonna smoke off E-box. And for back 6, you can do this one from top ladder as well. So you're gonna have to break these. Get yourself in this corner. Aim where this little T, you know, is. And left click. That's gonna go and smoke off back green. So we now know back green smoke, connector smoke, sandwich smoke, and an E-box smoke. If you want to fast scrim out A, you can do the back 6 smoke and the connector smoke faster than as I showed you. A way you can throw a fast connector smoke is to line yourself up with this dot, aim at this A, right at the middle of this top here, and jump through. That's gonna perfectly smoke off connector. Faster than the usual lineup, so this one's pretty good. And if you want to smoke off back 6 without going top ladder, you can get onto the left side of this shadow. Aim at the 4th line here, 4th, right about there, where it intersects with the top of this this thing right here. So aim right about there and jump through. Just gonna fly across the map and smoke off back 6. This smoke is pretty good because if the AWPer or the rifler wants to go for an Olof peek, he's going to have to commit in front of the smoke, so he's pretty exposed. So worst case, you could get that trade easily. Alright guys, we're moving on to Pop Dog now. For Pop Dog, I'm gonna show you a basic pop flush that you can throw. Get onto the left side of this window, aim yourself with this line here, the first line from the left of the window. Get yourself here. There's a little dark spot right here. You're gonna have to memorize that spot, that dark spot, right above this, you know, where these lines meet, right there. Crouch and right click throw, underhand. That's a pretty good pop flash if you wanna flash the guy playing Pop Dog. And if you have a CT who's not really letting go of pop, one thing you can do is isolate him. Either make him, you know, play close pop or get out of pop. What you can do is line yourself up in the middle of this line here. Obviously these should be broken. Aim where this line and the bottom of the window intersect. So right there. Do this while crouched. And then stand and throw your molly. What that's gonna do is it's gonna prevent him from playing. It's gonna prevent him from playing back pop. Right, sorry about that. Yep, so that molly is gonna prevent him from playing here. So he's either gonna have to leave pop or push up. So what you could do is throw the molly, and then right after the molly you can get into this corner and right and left click, so like a medium throw, a nade on this line, so right in the middle about here, and do this. What that's gonna do is if he decides to go forward after the molly, it's gonna, you know, he's gonna eat this nade. If he goes here, if he goes here, he's gonna eat that nade. So either he leaves pop entirely or he's low HP, close pop. So that's pretty good if you wanna isolate him. Alright guys, that's it for pop. We're moving on to Ivy now. A good flash that you can throw at the start of the round is when you are at the start of this yellow line here. Bank it off this wall. This is a good flash for preventing any aggression. So if he's coming here for that initial pick, he's blind. So that's pretty good. You don't want to get caught off guard by an Ivy aggression. Getting an Ivy pick as CT is really useful because you get so much info on what the T set is going to be doing. So you don't want to get caught off guard by an Ivy aggression. So once you get close Ivy, you can either smoke left side or right side. Here's how you smoke the left side. Get into this corner. There's a little arrow here. Aim at the bottom of the arrow and you're gonna run until your crosshair reaches these white panels. So run and release it. That's gonna perfectly smoke off left side, so you can smoke off left side like that. Oops. You can smoke off left side, and then you can flash right side as well to take the right side of Pop. I mean Ivy. Similarly, if you want to smoke the right side, get in between these two textures, these two colors here, the gray and the dark gray. So get right there, stand up, and aim at the bottom left of this light. So right here. It's gonna smoke off back green, or right side of Ivy. One thing though, with this smoke, if the CT goes top green, he can easily spot you guys going, you know, all bomb or CT from this. So a good thing to do is, once you smoke off that, is to get close and throw this flash. Like right here, right side of this door. Throw a flash like that. This flash is gonna do two things. If there's an AWP holding this pixel, it's gonna make him leave the angle. Second thing is, if a guy is playing top green, using that smoke as a one-way, it's gonna flash him off. That's gonna buy you 2 to 3 seconds to round off this corner. So it's pretty useful. You don't want to get picked off by the guy top green. Alright guys, we're moving on to B now. There's not many nades on B. Obviously the inner smoke, everyone knows this. Just come here and, you know, bang it off the floor. A smoke for the side, this lane here, the first lane to cross. Pretty easy smoke. Get in this corner. Aim where the top edge of this wall meets this railing here. So smoke crosshair, this railing, top edge of the wall. Okay, and run through. And you can flash as well. That's gonna smoke off the first lane, allowing you to cross side. Here's an easy way you can smoke off connector from B holes. You need to find this spot on the wall. You can find it because it has two dark spots on the top right and top left of it. So get in the middle. Aim in the middle railing, right above it, and run forwards one step and release. That's gonna smoke off connector, preventing any AWPers holding your upper. It's gonna make him reposition. One other thing you can do is you can send a guy upper and he can throw this lurk smoke, get into this corner, and you're gonna aim right about here. So at the top half of this door, just to the right of the door, and release it. Flash as well. What this is gonna do is it's going to grab some attention, because you have these fights, you can take these fights one by one without getting picked off. One other thing you can do is you can throw this nade set. This is pretty supportive. So what you could do is smoke one, flash one. You can get to the left side of this door frame, aim at the height of the doorknob, and get your crosshair here and run through. That's gonna molly summit. So even if you're not pushing out, you can really help you guys hitting site. They can get these picks. Alright guys, that's it for the nades on B. Now we're moving on to the bonus tips. For the bonus tips, I'm going to start off with Postplant on A, playing Postplant ladder. From Pop Dog, you can pretty much molly all of these from Pop. So here's how you do them. To molly the default plant, just get into this wooden bar right here. Aim at the middle of this line, so right here, and release. That's gonna molly the default plant spot. If you want to molly towards the side bomb, just get a bit towards the left. You can use this dark spot for reference. Aim at the same spot and left click. If you want to molly like far side bomb, same spot. Aim a little higher because you're gonna walk forward, run forward a step. And that's gonna molly here. Actually, I ran a bit too far there, so right about there. Yeah. So you can molly these plant spots. One other thing you can do from Pop is if you get onto this corner, there's a little scratch on the wall. Aim at the junction right above it and jump through. That's gonna come out here and flash guys on site, so you can peek off Pop. Alright, one other thing I'm gonna show for you oppers out there. Is connected Wallbang. You've seen like old school Navi Guardian do this. It's pretty sick if it works, so you can try it out once in a while. Get into this corner. You're gonna aim right about here. So that's a connector Wallbang. You know, you can play around with it. It depends how the CT is playing as well. If he's crouched, if he's standing. So you can try that out. And if you don't have aim in control, and you're coming in late, if you aim just towards the right of this spot here, that's gonna Wallbang headshot angle, go close aim in. So I mean, yeah, it's situational, but you can use these. One other thing I want to show you guys is this is a smoke for connector from Ivy. So you can use this if you're doing a default and you want to hit B with an Ivy Lurk, or you want to fake, you know. It's pretty useful. What you can do is get into this corner, into the dumpster on the wall. It's pretty hard to see on video, but they're like these dots on the wall. You can imagine them as lines. Aim just below, just to the right of this set of dots. So if you imagine this as a line, aim just to the right of it, and the height is gonna be about here. It's not too strict, so don't worry about it. You're gonna crouch, one step, and jump through. So once again, it's a bit hard to see on video, but imagine this line here. There's these dots. Just to the right of it, the height is like about here. It's not too strict once again. So do that and jump through. One tip is when you're doing this, if you are having a Lurk Ivy, he can do this silent. The way he does this is, let's do that, jump through, and get onto this bin so you don't make noise. To get back down, hold crouch and release your crouch when you're in there right before you hit the floor. And you're gonna get down silent. So that's pretty useful if you want to Lurk Ivy. Alright guys, that's it for train. Quick sellout moment. I'm gonna be leaving links to all my social in the description below. Please do follow me on other social media, it really does help out. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe if you actually learned a thing or two. And share it with your friends if they will benefit from it. And as always, görüşmek üzere.